Need
Go.
more light or you're good? Good.
All good? Okay, so the first thing we're gonna start with is our markers, right? So we're doing yes and good for this one. Yes means you did something correctly and you're also released, right? So it's a rewarded release. Good means keep doing it, you're on the right path, keep doing what you're doing. So it is different from stay, as we talked about, because you can use it for moving behaviors as well. So I can use it for healing, I can use it for recalls, I can use it for extended eye contact, extended engagement, so many more versatile things than just the stay. So how we condition that, we started by going yes, then we step and feed. And the analogy I made here is like a protractor. So one always stays down, or like a pivot foot in basketball. Yes, unless you're LeBron James and like to travel. So throw that in there. Footwork like Kobe, not LeBron. Yes. So let's do one more here. Yes. And he's going to my open hand. My hand is always going to be at his head level when I'm conditioning this. Yes. So he goes right to it. Now, when I'm doing good, I started out doing a supply hand to a reward hand, right? And the reason I did that, he's a young, active dog, and initially when I came in, before we did that correction to reward, he was jumping through the roof. So
Yeah.
I started easier here. So if he's kind of like that for you, supply hand, this is where your food is, reward hand. What we're gonna do, good. Let's go into this hand. Good. 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 Now at this point, he's pretty good at this, but that's just to show you. I can be able to move my hand away. Good. 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 And he's staying in one spot. So let's go ahead and give you a little description of why we're doing markers. So remember, the dog feels rewarded when I say that marker. And we will be timing obedience behaviors and relaxation with these markers. So it's important that we keep the delivery of either always the yes first, then rewarding, or the good first, and then rewarding that way. So the best way to think about this is like when you get something delivered to you, right? You're gonna get that email that tells you a package is on its way, right? If you get that email, you're gonna be, okay, cool, it's coming, right? That's exciting to see that email. It has value at this point, right? When your package gets here, that's exciting as well, right? But if you got them at the same time, someone goes, your package is on its way and here it is, right? Your package is here, right? Tyler Muto had this analogy, so this is a pretty good one. So if they occurred at the same time, that email has no value, right?
Right.
And if that email occurred after, it really is pointless, right?
Right.
Here's your package is arriving. No sense. So that's the way to think about your markers when you're conditioning them. Always word first, followed by movement.
Okay.
Make sense? Let's go ahead and pause this video.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep, go ahead.
So the next thing that we're doing here is teaching luring. The big thing that's important about luring, is that it's like following a GPS. You're getting that muscle memory going on for the dog, and we're teaching him how to get into that position in one of the easiest forms of learning how to get into that position. It makes every step after that easier to do because you started in a motivational way, a force-free way of teaching him how to do that to begin with. So we're really making him want to do that behavior. While we're doing this luring, I'm also showing you some drills that we'll be using for our engagement training that also adapt over to play later on, and that we can use to add a little bit more energy and prey drive into our training. So you're gonna see some movements that I do here, and they're for specific reasons. So what I'm gonna do here, we start food to nose. Start moving backwards. Yes, step, feet. I'm always matching same leg, same hand, whether I'm going forward or backwards. You watch here, food to nose, yes, step, feet. And you don't have to say step, I'm doing that for you.
Sure, okay.
Yes. He stole that one. Sneaky little dude. Yes. Yes. So I'm always leaving that little buffer zone. So I'm making sure that I yes while I'm in motion. And then I'm extending my hand, and eventually, like you asked that question earlier, picture him hitting a tug out here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to be going,
Yeah.
the tug will get stuck in his mouth.
Yeah.
So that's why you have that little bit of a buffer zone, and you want to make sure you're marking as he's moving, also not stopping. So this is going to help with that problem as well.
Okay.
So you go ahead and pause that one. Next
Okay.
thing that we're going to do here is we're teaching him the intermediate bridge, and then we're also teaching him how to do hand targeting. So let's kind of go first to the bridge. The bridge is this super hyper specific way of bridging him. Basically, we're pinpointing what he's doing correct, what he's doing incorrect, and when he did something completely successfully would complete the reward process there. So I make the sound good, 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 good. If you compare this to the game hot and cold, silence is cold, which would mean he's off the path to the reward. The good, 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 good sound means he's warm, right, on the right path. And when I say good, it means you did it correctly. So we're teaching him that. The biggest importance of the intermediate bridge isn't just the hot and cold thing, it's that it starts getting him into that seeking system and gets the dopamine going with him. And so when you see things like other dogs, which is one of his bigger issues, that we can access that thinking state of his mind, that dopamine producing state of his mind, and get him to actually switch how he starts to feel about things. So it's like counter conditioning on steroids when you have this process down. But it goes bridge and target. So we're doing that intermediate bridge to a target. It's simply just how we condition that bridge, not how we'll always use it. But the hand targeting is teaching him that following our hand is just as relevant as following food. It's going to be the second piece of behavior creation. So if you can kind of picture this, say if you're doing like a sit with a piece of food, you're going like head up, butt yes, down, butt down. You see the marking there as I'm trying to talk with you. So you want to do the same thing with your hand. Yes, right? So he understands following your hand is just as important as following food. Sit's an easy one. When you start doing down, you start breaking away from your hand. So you'll run into some stuff like that. So you're really going to want this bridge for that part. So how we're going to do this technique. I'm putting my bare hand out. I'm preloaded with food in my other hand. So I'm going to toss this over, right? And you could dig back in your pocket if you wanted to, but it's easy just to toss over. So bare hand's going out. Good, 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 good. Food goes back into the same hand he touched. That's an important part because I don't want to feed him from one and have him touch the other. He'll be very confused.
Okay.
It's a big piece I got here. Okay. Good, 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 good. See how he did like a little pause there and I didn't start bridging right away? He actually wasn't even looking quite at my hand, is why I didn't start bridging there. Good, 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 good. And this is where you want to try this from some different angles as well. Good, 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 good. See if he wants to go up. Good, 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 good. Let's try down. Good, 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 good. Now let's go around. Good, 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 good. So you can see he's just knocking that out of the park. So he knows that sound will link to reward. And like I said, you can be incredibly specific using an intermediate bridge. Go ahead and pause that one. So the next thing that I want to build here is really what's called engagement. There's a couple ways I like to do this. This one is called the attention game. I actually learned this from a trainer named Chad Mackin, really good trainer. But it's keeping the dog getting sustained attention on you. What I like about this game that he taught me was that you can be using your good marker or duration marker, and it's kind of one of the first ways to put it into motion. So, again, good could be used for coming back to you, healing with you, and this is one of the first ways I put it in motion. I go, okay, great, keep paying attention to me. And so what I'm going to do here, I always start with Nikon. You ready? Yes. Yes would be that rewarded release, so he goes to the food. As he turns around, which for him to finish that piece there. Good, good, good. Yes. And I really just want him looking at my body. I don't really have a specific point. It doesn't have to be making direct eye contact with me. I just want him paying attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
Good, good, good. Yes. And as he develops with this, you can push him further and further and further, and it's kind of easy to do. Just add more goods. Good, 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 good. Yes. So that one you saw me push him quite a bit further, right? But I'm just bridging him every step of the way, saying that's what I want you to do. So I'm giving him feedback. And it's kind of a great way to explain good. You're giving him feedback. You're not leaving him hanging. Good, 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 good. Yes. This type of game, great to start doing this one outside so you become more relevant out there. Dogs will get pretty used to responding to you in here, but they can totally tune you out in different environments. You want to make sure you've done this one and engagement training. So when we start going outside. But engagement training I'm going to show you next week. Or when I see you again, because I'm on vacation next week.
Okay.
Go ahead and pause this one. Ready? So the next thing we're going to do is called appetitive response to aversive. And I kind of for short just call this punishment to reward. So it's not so long-winded. This is from a trainer named Mark McCabe. And the cool thing about this one is that it teaches the dog how to rebound emotionally from a correction. And as you saw there, when we did that first correction for the jumping and then for counter surfing, he did kind of go, ooh, what just happened? And I did a lot of rewards to get him to rebound from that. And so how that actually works, when we're doing that, when we're giving him rewards, the rewards are going to stimulate that dopamine and get him back into the seeking system, right? And so I'm getting him out of that emotional state. I'm also teaching him, simply if you look at it black and white, jumping wrong, floor is right, floor is good, thanks for making that change, right? So I want to reward that change. The question I like to address there, so you can remember this one, if your punishment is enough, they're not going to want to repeat it just simply to get the reward. So that's something I get asked frequently with that one, and that's just kind of something that I want to bring up. Not that it would feel like this whatsoever, because it's just more startling getting sprayed with a squirt bottle, right? Just more, it didn't physically hurt, it's just startling, right? So let's say if I was going to grab this pillow here, right? But every time I went to grab that pillow, I wound up getting punched in the face, right? So let's say there's $20 there, but I have to withstand this punch in the face. It's not going to be worth it, right? It's what equates. And now it's a terrible example because you don't want to have punches in the face with dogs, but I'm just doing that for humans. So it was only a squirt bottle, right? But the squirt bottle isn't worth that amount of treats to repeat that behavior, right? He's more likely to repeat the behavior that got the treats instead of the behavior that got corrected, right? Which is why you saw him maintain himself on the floor for such a long period of time after that, right? So he went, but dude, he corrected me when I did this, but he gave me probably 30 rewards when he was on the floor.
He's still on the floor.
So that's how that would make sense. So you're dealing with that emotional aspect. You are looking at it black and white. When a dog is doing demanding things, like that jumping was super demanding. So we actually would not have gotten through as much as we got through if he persisted with that pogo stick effect that he was doing, right? We got much more clarity from him once he went, I can't do that anymore, but I can do all of this. And this is actually what we want anyways, right? So, and you see how inhibited that is? He thought about that from one spray with a squirt bottle. So, you know, sometimes there's a right place for punishment. You don't really fix demanding behavior when he's demanding for food. You don't really fix that with food. You can do some things with it that would take a super long time. This is going to be a lot easier, right to the point, and as long as you know how to rebound, you're going to be just fine doing this. So go ahead and pause that one.